off to the people on Zoom. See both? Might have to pin it up a little bit. Good morning, everyone. I don't think I'm on. Oh, that's interesting. There's a never dull moment. Am I on? Okay. Can everyone hear me? Yeah. We need it a little bit up. It's number 11. I got thrown. I usually spend that little bit of time finding my talk. Okay. I don't know if I can get this up. Oh, would you mind? Thanks, Jeff. I'm being saved. Well, just doing this. I don't need it for my joke. Thank you, sir. Perfect. And then that's the wrong thing. Okay. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. This is so great. What a beautiful Sunday morning out here. So, as everyone knows, I like to start off with something a little bit humorous. Give us at least a giggle if I put you to sleep with the next part. So, the Pope was in Germany. He's having a wonderful time going around the country, being chauffeured, really enjoyed it. So he decided that he wasn't going to fly home, that he wanted to be driven back. So the German, he was absolutely no problem. They got him a beautiful German car, one of the best drivers they had. So the Pope gets in the back seat, away the car goes, and he's thinking, wow, you know, the highways are nice, but I want to see the countryside. I want to get off the beaten path. So he knocks on the window and says to the driver, can we take some of the back roads? And the driver said, well, this is a little more efficient. And he's going, I get that. He said, but I want to see a bit more of the countryside. And the driver said, well, I can get you there faster if we stay on the highway. So the Pope goes again, look, it's just an experience I want to have. Can we do this? And the driver goes to protest again. And the Pope said, look, can you just pull over, please? So he pulls over, the Pope gets out of the back seat and said, you get in the back seat, I'm going to drive. So the driver is really uncomfortable with this, but he gets in the back seat. Pope gets in behind the wheel, starts driving. Soon comes up to a detour. They say, oh, I'm sorry, this road is impassable through the mountains. You're going to have to go back to the highway. So the Pope reluctantly steers the car back towards the highway. And as he gets on the highway, he's starting to feel this beautiful German machine. He's starting to feel the power. He's starting to feel something come within him that says, hey, press that accelerator a little bit more. So he starts and then he says, no, I gotta keep to the speed limits, to which the driver in the back seat, who had actually become quite comfortable by this point, knocks on the glass and says to the Pope, you know, there are no speed limits in Germany on the highway. With that, the Pope floored it. He was enjoying this so much that he didn't see when he crossed the Austrian border. All of a sudden, police cars are around him and a helicopter's flying over, and he reluctantly pulls over to the side, rolls down his window and kind of sheepishly smiles at the officer standing there. So the officer, seeing who it is driving the car, said, excuse me, sir, I've got to go make a phone call. So they phoned back to headquarters and they said, we stopped this German car going way over the speed limit on our side. What do we do? And the dispatcher said, well, you give them a ticket. Well, it's kind of someone important. And he said, well, who is it? It was like a member of parliament? And they said, no. And he said, is it Angela Merkel? And he said, no. And they said, well, what the heck? Who is in the car? God? To which the reporters, or the police officer says, well, all I can say is the Pope's driving him. So what I love about this joke is so many of us have problems embracing our divinity. We have problems stating that we were phenomenal, extraordinary, stupendous beings of the divine. Why is that? Why is it when someone even pays us the most humblest of compliments, we shrink back and we say, oh, you know what, not me. That's not me. And it was even funny, I'd done name tags for some of the spiritual team. And it was funny, one of them said to me, I'm extraordinary? And I was like, you didn't know it? And it was really interesting because it was the last person that I ever thought would say that. So we all struggle with this. This whole month is going to be about wholeness. So what is wholeness? Anybody have their own definition of what wholeness is? Yeah? Okay, well, I'll give you mine. So wholeness is that place, that feeling within ourselves of bliss, of joy, of knowing, of purpose. It is that place we go to using so many of our spiritual tools. It's where we go to when we do meditation, when we do visioning, when we do treatment. All of those are accessing our wholeness. So our wholeness is that time where we touch the divine within us. We touch that amazing, amazing, unchangeable you. And you all have it. No one is born without it. You all have this essence within you that is always connected to the divine. In the next few weeks, we'll talk about how it's eternal. It's timeless. And when we say in our prosperity statement, beyond the realm of time. So it doesn't mean that you just go on for years and years. It means that that part of you isn't even in time. It never began and it never ends. So it can't be in time. And this is what is so beautiful when we can touch this part of ourselves, when we can feel it so vividly that it's springing out of our fingers and our toes and we walk around looking like we're glowing. And that happens. This time of year it's a little easier because we allow ourselves to feel joy in the holiday season, whether it's Hanukkah or Ramadan or one of the other things. And whether it's coming from a little truck. It's all that joy, right? That bliss, where we go and we look for it and we feel it. How many of us take that opportunity over the holiday seasons, right? We go see our friends more often. We have treats. We indulge in things a little bit more, right? It's joyful. It fills us up with that spirit. And when they talk about Christmas spirit or Hanukkah joy, all of those things, that's what we're touching is our wholeness. And so why is that important? Why is getting in touch with this essence of what you are so important? Anybody? Wow, look at a silent crew. What was that?
You have more to give out.
Yes, you have more to give out for sure. But we have to be in touch also with this wholeness in order for us to manifest. Unless we can go to that place, we can find that place of realizing we are not separate from our divine. We are not separate from the universe, spirit, pure potential, whatever you want to call it. We're not separate from it, ever. Ever. But we do need to get in touch with it, to convince ourselves we're worthy of what we're asking for. And that's really all it is. It's a way, our wholeness is a way for us to quieten our mind and stop creating those thoughts that separate us from what the divine wants for us. So an example, you might really want to create wealth in your world. And you start your affirmations and you start that you're going to go forward and this is going to happen and nothing can stop me. And you're not connecting with source. So you look to other things, and maybe you look to Dawn, or I look to someone else as my source of that wealth. But then I'm disappointed when it doesn't happen because I have an expectation of something outside of myself, and that is never where we manifest. But if I go quiet, if I go internal, and I know that I am so supported by the divine within me that this can't help but manifest, I remove that illusion of things being separate. I remove that illusion of I have to do this out here in order to have it manifest into form. And nothing ever does. So we always go within. When we do the prosperity affirmations, etc., what is the first thing we do? Recognize oneness and unify. The first two steps. Unification. The unification isn't because the universe is sitting there going, well, I wonder when Wendy's going to acknowledge me. It's not what it's about. It doesn't care. It's flowing there all the time. But what it does is it removes that mirror that you look into the minute you say you want something. The minute that you set your intention on something, the minute you want to put your purpose out into the world, unless you're really set the first step, unifying with your source, you're going to look to that and you're going to see a mirror and it's going to reflect back to you your thoughts of failure every single time. And that's what unification does. It removes that mirror. So when we're going into wholeness, when we're going into this feeling of embracing the fact that we're divine, it's not arrogance. It's not, you know, oh, I'm just too good for this place. It's not like our parents used to tell us to be humble. That's not what it's about. It's about recognizing where you come from, why you're here. So Audrey mentioned the beautiful stained glass that's above. And as you'll see, it comes down and goes up. So Eckhart Tolle explained this a little prettier than I'm going to, and it's going to be the opposite. So we're going to start with the swoosh that goes up. So when you have an experience, when you connect with your wholeness and you manifest something into form, or you manifest an event that is truly wonderful. Let's say you have a great dinner party and you have your friends, and this was your intention, was to throw a great dinner party for your friends, and you have them over. What do you experience at these things? Once they're there and you're all around the table, what do you experience? Anybody? Joy. Joy? Yeah. Connection. What was that? Happiness. Connecting. Happiness, connecting. Warmth. Warmth. Gratitude. Yeah, gratitude. Are they not all spirit? Is that not all God? So you get to feel that wholeness, that bliss, that state of being that spirit wants you in, that the universe is so anxious for you to live in. And why? Because it gets to experience that through you. And that is the only way the universe experiences, is through your consciousness. It gets to experience joy, bliss, love, warmth, laughter, compassion, abundance, prosperity, giving. All those beautiful virtues can only be done through you. So then when we connect with the one, when we connect with source, you see the other side where it's coming down, that spirit expanding, saying, do more. It's that voice within you that says, you can heal. You can be prosperous. You can express beauty. You can express joy. You can dance wildly around the room and everyone's gonna love it. It's that stillness, but we have to be aware of it. And therein lies the idea of embracing wholeness. We have to be aware of what isn't our little thoughts. It's, oh, don't get on dance. You're gonna look weird. Shona's gonna get you on her camera. People are gonna laugh. You're gonna go viral on YouTube. And before you know it, it's gone, right? The spirit wants you to silence that voice. And that's why Audrey's got these t-shirts in the back. And the quote is, the awareness is the destination. And that is first and foremost. When we want to do anything, take a moment and ground yourself in spirit. Just say, you know what? If you get behind the car, take a second when you put the key in when the car's warming up, and you're sitting there shivering, waiting for your car seat to warm. Say, just take a second. I know Spirit is here within me. I know that where I'm going to arrive safely. I know each and every interaction I have on this road is for my highest and best. That's all you have to do. And that puts you in source before you even get going. And that's why it is so important that we keep doing these things for each other. So I love Michael Beckwith's song, I'm taking a adventure in paradise. I'm going to read you the first verse. Take a holy breath and say to yourself, I'm taking an adventure in paradise, and guess what? I'm taking you with me. I'm activating my spiritual stimulus package in order to have this stimulus package stop looking outside for help. Listen with that inner ear, like life is everywhere, joy is everywhere, love is everywhere. So how are you going to start your stimulus package? Awareness. Awareness of what are just random thoughts in your head that are usually based on fear. As I've told you before, we have 3, usually, that we like to repeat. And if we finally take care of one, another one will step in to do the 3. Brain loves 3. So we can quieten that and realize what is that and what is source. Step number 1. And then for step number 2, because I don't know where it went to all of a sudden. Excuse me. I know that's, oh, I think I mentioned 3. I think I grabbed my wrong, I don't know why I'm putting the mic closer so you can hear me fumble, but, okay, well, here. I think this is it. All right, that thing threw me off getting my lovely thing. I didn't have my couple of minutes to figure this out. Okay, here we go. Werner Eckhart said, the conditions for transformation are not present when people are hungry. So we take charge of our lives, practice dominion, and clear the circuits of our consciousness in order to make ourselves ready to experience wholeness. So what this is referring to is we have to take domain over the body. Not only the thoughts, but we have to take care of ourselves, right? To be in that great place of connecting with Spirit, we can't be sitting there with our stomach rumbling. We can't be worried about other things. We have to calm down those thoughts. And that helps everything when we go into meditation. We're not sitting there doing the worry thought pattern. So a lot of the practices that we teach, see, I can move everything. They have this wonderful practice of, some of you may have done it, journaling, etc. And what that does is that gets that voice gone, that takes care of that. That's all about having domain. Why do we meditate? We meditate because that gives us the space between our thoughts and who we really are. And that space is our cushion. I always consider it the blast zone when a bomb goes off. You know, there's that certain zone that you're in. I don't know, I guess why would you know, but it is something I've heard. And it's a cushioning. So it is so interesting that when we meditate on a regular basis, what it gives us is that space between our being and our thoughts. And what does that allow? That allows wholeness. So we teach a number of ways here to get to wholeness. Meditation, visioning is huge, journaling is huge, affirmations. Their purpose is always to get your thoughts out of the way and bring your awareness to Spirit, which is your destination. Connection to Source is always our destination. And when we're aware of that, we become so powerful. Because if I'm expecting one of you to make me happy, to do something for me, and you don't, then I'm upset. I'm easily angered. But when I realize you're not responsible for my happiness, it's something I need to do. I have to go inside and be my own answers. Then if my expectations outwardly aren't met, I understand. They have a different journey. They have a different thing going on in their lives. So how many of us have done that? We think a new partner is going to make us happy. We think more money is going to make us happy. All these different things that we put out there that we think bring happiness, and when they come and we're not, we're disappointed. We're upset, we're angry, we're mad. You were supposed to do this for me. You were supposed to give me the answers. So how wonderful is it to know that you just have to go quiet and go within and find that every single time. So I wanted to do another verse of the Paradise, and we're actually going to end with this in a couple of seconds, but I'm taking an adventure in paradise, and we're lifted up into the spiritual domain. We begin to see a little bit differently. There's a broadcast going on. A broadcast comes from within you, and there's a song singing in you. There's something within you that wants to express. There is something within you that wants to come forward. You were anointed and appointed by the Spirit as the image and likeness of the divine and ultimate reality. As we hang in that domain, we bring heaven to earth. As spiritual practice, wake up and say to yourself, I'm taking an adventure in paradise, and I'm taking you with me. Get up and dance, everybody, because we're going to paradise.